producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud-Desmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better bet. Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer Line. I'm your host and stats expert, Christian Giordani. The man next to me, apparently losing his mind, is Loud-Desmond, our sports professional handicapper. And right next to us as well is our ex-professional athlete, Rocky Giordani. Fellas, how you doing on this fine Friday afternoon?
Perfect. Great. Lou is on. Actually, that's very funny. I'm trying not to laugh. So
Looks like Lou already dipped into the whiskey.
did you see that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? I used to have long hair.
Yep.
And quick hands.
All right, everyone.
This is a job for Super Chicken.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Super
for all
Chicken.
those who
There was a Super Chicken, a cartoon,
Super
right?
Pollo. Yeah.
Super Chicken, yeah.
Super Pollo. Absolutely. Love the play.
For all those who were watching us last week, we talked about Game 7 of the NHL Finals. Unfortunately, history was not made as the Panthers have won. What a shame. Loud, what were your thoughts on that Game 7?
I had picked the Panthers right after the trade deadline. I said the Panthers are the best team in the NHL. And they're probably going to win it. And they did. It would have been fun to see Edmonton. But the other thing is, it's just so great to see Canada get denied again. They have been trying to bring the Stanley Cup back to Canada for a long. When is the last time? It's like 30 plus years since a Canadian team, the country that invented the sport, that would be like the NBA having the Toronto Raptors win for 30 years. Like a U.S.-based NBA team has not won an NBA championship for 30 years. It's got to be so frustrating. But yeah, it was a fun series. We're now in the baseball only year, except for there's UFC.
And there's
a lot of UFC.
There's Copa America right now, too, going on.
Yeah, Copa America.
UFC knows to program heavy right now with there's nothing else on.
Yep.
So.
Right.
Yep.
No, they're
Summer
very
is their
smart.
days.
Yeah, they're very smart. There's and the thing about UFC programs, if you start watching at the early prelims, those start at like noon.
Yeah.
And the main card is like at 8 p.m. So it's literally an all day and all night thing. I don't pay for the pay-per-views.
Who has in the past 10 years?
I haven't. Last time I paid for pay-per-view, remember, Christian?
McGregor versus
was coming over. It was
McGregor.
Ronda Rousey, I think.
No, it was McGregor, Jose Aldo. Long time. We're getting way off track. All right.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Last thing we talked about for the NHA finals. The late great Jerry West did pass away, but he was reborn once again, and Connor McDavid to be the only athlete on the losing team to win the finals MVP in NHL history and the second in sports history, only behind the late great Jerry West.
Jerry West was one of my childhood heroes. He was the face of Lakers when I was a kid. It was awesome, for a guy who was too short to play much basketball. Played at the boys' club. They had teams at the boys' club. We'd go down and play a couple times a week.
Well, I've heard about you at the boys' club.
Yeah, that's the only place that had teams back then for us kids in Venice was the boys' club in Santa Monica. Jerry West was an icon. He will always be.
I understand you always wanted to play skins.
Favorites, yes, of course.
Yep, Jerry West, an icon. R.I.P. to a legend. But Connor McDavid won the NHL Finals MVP after losing the series. That's insane. That's
almost unheard of.
Almost unheard of, yeah, only to late great Jerry West. All right, moving on to the NHL. NFL Sunday Ticket is getting sued for $14.7 billion. going ahead.
Well, I get on some of that. Tell me it's a class action suit. And
It is a class action suit. Here
And
are
you
all
know what
the
happens
details.
in class action suits? The lawyers make all the money.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
what is
they get all the money,
dude?
and then you get a check for 55
So-
cents.
This lawsuit has been going on for the past 11 years. It started in 2013. The class action is set from 2011 to 2021. A jury in the U.S. District Court ordered that the NFL to pay more than $4.7 billion in damages after ruling that the league violated antitrust laws in distributing out-of-market Sunday afternoon games on a premium subscription service. The jury awarded $4.7 billion in damages to the residential class and $96 million in damages to the commercial class, which the NFL can be liable up to $14.39 billion. The lawsuit claimed that the league broke antitrust laws by selling its package of Sunday games at an inflated price.
Is that what the suit is about? An inflated
Yes.
price, or after,
Yes.
or because you said something about non-market games, or
Yeah, non-market games, which is basically just a fancy word for blackout games.
blackout.
Yeah, blackout games in your area. As we know, as Southern
But
California,
they sold them to you. If you paid,
Yeah.
you paid for okay Sunday ticket, you get it. Well, I couldn't get
Well,
it.
the heart of the case is they're claiming that the NFL owners colluded to inflate the price, and that caused consumer harm because NFL Sunday DirecTV had to pay so much money for NFL Sunday Ticket that they had to charge like $350 a year to make it make sense financially, and that's where the harm to the consumer came in.
And they're winning this suit.
Yeah, they're winning the suit. The NFL just
Right,
made a
then we
statement.
can start suing the Dodgers for the price of seat tickets because Otani gets too much.
Yeah,
Right? We
Well,
can start.
No,
so this,
I'm with you
where it
on,
was going to end. Now we know how it's going to end.
yeah, I'm with you on this, Rocky. I don't think legally I don't like this argument at all because it's their product.
Right.
The NFL owners own the product.
And you do not have to watch them.
And you don't have to watch it. And if you don't want to pay for it, you don't have to pay for it. And they can charge whatever they want as long as somebody's willing to pay. They didn't put a gun to DirecTV's head and say you have to buy our product, or Amazon, or any individual and say you have to pay $350. I mean, honestly, the NFL, I think, is one of the best leagues in that up until very recently, you could get 2 or 3 games on Sunday. You could get a game Sunday night. You could get a game Monday night, and you could get a game Thursday night, and it was all available on network television.
I don't
like it. I
hate it. I hate it. There was a homeless lady named Annie when I was probably right when I was about 20. I'd known her since I was a kid. She got named Apple Annie because I set her up those old TV trays, and I put some apples out there and put a price tag of $1 million. She goes, Jesus, I'm not going to sell any apples for $1 million. I said, Annie, you only have to sell one. So she sat there trying to sell apples for $1 million. She got nicknamed Apple Annie. Never sold one, but if you wanted to buy one, it was available.
And I understand you met Apple Annie at the boys' club.
yeah.
Well,
This lawsuit,
Playboy Club.
This lawsuit covers 48,000 businesses and 2.4 million residential clients and counting.
Yeah. Don't like it. Okay, moving on.
Well, before we move on from the NFL has put on a statement that they're going to appeal this jury, whatever. I can't find the right words right now. They're going to appeal and they're willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court. And the class action class said they're willing to go all the way to the Supreme Court as well. All right, moving on.
I don't see how when this gets to a court that makes sense, I own the product. I can sell it for whatever I want. And I can talk to all the owners and say, what are you willing to sell it for? I just don't understand what the legal argument is, what they supposedly do.
There's a legal argument. This won't stand. It won't stand on appeal. Christian, $100 in my left nut says they tried this in a Democrat state where it was all lenient judges and stupidity. California,
I wouldn't be able to tell you what state
New Hampshire,
the jury was in at this time.
Washington, D.C., yeah, probably. It won't stand on appeal. There's no way. There's no way.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
All right, so Rams. Oh, sorry. Did I jump the gun? What's
Go
up?
ahead.
What are we talking about? Oh, I don't know.
No.
Oh, I thought you had something else.
Christian's got Brandon Ayuk news.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk. Ever since the NFL draft has passed, Brandon Ayuk has been again going through social media trying to expand his image and tell the 49ers to either pay me or trade me. And the 49ers have said again and again that there has never been a trade for Brandon Ayuk. And now there's been a leak that they almost finished the trade with Washington for that number 2 overall pick straight up for Brandon Ayuk.
Not a secret. Everybody knew that.
Yeah. Well, now Brandon Ayuk is
trade bait. He was trade bait, and they didn't get anything they liked, or they would have. He'd be gone.
But now he's saying there's only 2 teams who will be willing to get traded to, and that is either the Washington Commanders or the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Does he have a no trade clause?
No, he's still
Then
on
he
the
can
rookie
shut
deal.
the hell up.
Yeah, then he's going to get paid. He'll stay. Look, Brandon Ayuk is a top 10 receiver for sure, maybe top 5.
Well,
I think you probably put him 7-8.
he was better than Debo last year.
Yes, he was.
He was better than Debo Samuels last year. He was the most valuable receiver on that 49ers.
Yeah, but it's a lot of times. Sorry, I sound like Joe Biden for a second. A lot of times, it depends. The NFL is the ultimate it depends league.
Yeah. Because
Brandon Ayuk, he looked great because they also have to cover Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. They have to cover Debo Samuel, and they have to cover George Kittle. And so their defenses basically prioritized him last. So he had the weakest coverage corner on him. And, he converted a lot of first downs.
But he didn't just convert a lot of first downs. He converted 97% of his catches as first downs.
Right.
Huge. I get that.
And the biggest part of this whole controversy that the 49ers are even considering keeping Brandon Ayuk is up to Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has been up to bat for his receiver again and again and again, saying that he is a unreplaceable, quote, unreplaceable piece of this offense.
Irreplaceable, whatever. Well,
everybody is replaceable. If the NFL teaches us anything, it teaches us that. And by the way, it really depends. I put him on, say, the Carolina Panthers, and what does he do, Christian?
Not much.
Put him on the Patriots, and what does he do, Rocky?
Not much.
Yeah, so, I mean, it all depends on what situation you're in. And he's been very fortunate to be in the situation that he's in because I don't think he's a true number 1 receiver.
He's not. He's not. And if he stays where he is, he'll make money and he'll do well.
And he'll have a chance at championship.
For the reason that you quoted, for exactly what you quoted, that's why he will do well there. Because he's not a number 1, he's not a number 2. Now, Demarcus Robinson with the Rams, if he stays, he's going to take over Van Jefferson's spot as at number 3. With Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, if Demarcus Robinson embraces that role that Brandon Ayuk has,
he can do great.
Have a great year. And if if Ayuk does the same thing, he'll have a great year. If he goes somewhere else to try to be the number 1, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's not a true number 1 receiver. All right. Discussion that I really want to have is post-draft, post-free agency, post-draft, post-coaching carousel, post-quarterback carousel. Who do we think is the strongest division in the NFL?
The West?
NFC West? Make your case.
I was going to see NFC North.
Rams and the 49ers have improved to the point of being 10-game winners. By the way, that's a great bet. At Rams 8.5 games. You could take that, or there's another bet. Just bet them to make the playoffs. I think it's a little bit tighter vig. You pay.
I haven't gotten to the NFC West yet for my over-unders.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying,
The Rams
Eight and a half.
8.5?
8.5.
You
Yeah,
It
got
was at 7. It was at 7 before the draft.
What?
Yeah, I know. Listen, those are great bets. Rams to make the playoffs. Rams to win more than 8.5. Puka Nacua to get more than 1,100 yards. I mean, there's a bunch of dumb bets. Rams, like 5 or 6 of them on the Rams alone. Yeah.
But
All right, so Rocky says NFC West is the toughest division. Okay.
Now somebody else can say NFC.
AFC North.
AFC North. Okay.
There's 4 teams that can make the playoffs there. 3 if you count out the Browns of Deshaun Watson.
We're counting them out.
Yeah, but the Ravens, one of the best defense in the league. Joe Burrow, second best quarterback in the NFL. And then the Steelers, one of the toughest defenses in the league. I don't care who's behind center. That defense will win them at least 8 games.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. If Russell Wilson is behind center.
Well, look who was their quarterback last year? Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph. Mitch Trubisky?
And they did make the playoffs in kind of a fluky way, but then they got blown out.
Yeah. They held it together for 2 quarters.
I'm going to throw out, before I go to what Pro Football Focus has to say, I say the toughest division in the NFL is the NFC North. The Detroit Lions are a monster team. The Green Bay Packers, man, their last 4 games last year. Do we remember the freaking beatdown they put on the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, I never forget.
Thank you for the greatest. That was the greatest tank. That was the greatest choke ever.
Yeah,
the Dallas Cowgirls. I mean, how
lost to
they're not America's team. They're not even Texas's team anymore. Houston.
All right. Well, just continuing with the theme here. Detroit Lions, monster team. Green Bay Packers, monster team. Minnesota Vikings, great defense, and they have the best receiver in the league. Now, they're weak at quarterback. And then, I saw an argument made that the Chicago Bears could be a playoff team. And I'm like, no, they can't be because of the division that they're in. But then I forgot they won 8 games last year.
And it's 14-team platform.
Yeah.
They won 8 games last year. And so the Lions can take it to anybody. The Packers can take it to anybody. The Vikings can play defense. They've got the best receiver in the league. The Bears, their defense is very good. I don't believe in Caleb Williams long term, but he may show flashes, and they've got some weapons on offense. And they won 8 games last year in what was supposed to be a transition year. So I don't know. I might make the argument that the NFC North is the toughest division.
Well, we'll find out week 1. Rams play Detroit. Week 1.
Yeah, that's
great game.
That's going to be a great game.
Great game.
Rams,
I'm so excited.
By the way, we discussed this a few weeks ago when the schedule came out. The week 1 schedule in the NFL, Christian, can you pull it up, please? It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
It's fantastic. By the way, Pro Football Focus agrees with Christian. They say the AFC North is the toughest division in the NFL.
Yep. All right. Here's the schedule for week 1. First game, Ravens Chiefs. Ravens Chiefs, then Packers.
Kansas City?
Yeah, at Kansas City. Packers at Eagles. Panthers at Saints. Vikings at Giants. Pats at Bengals.
All right, give me the days. So Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday is Ravens Chiefs.
Okay. Is there a Friday night game that first week?
Yep. Eagles, Packers, Eagles.
Oh, that's a great game.
Eagles who?
Packers, Eagles.
Oh,
Packers,
great.
Eagles.
Yeah, that's a heavyweight fight.
And then Sunday, all through, it's Panthers, Saints, Vikings, Giants, Pats, Bengals, Steelers, Falcons, Texans, Colts, Cardinals, Bills, Texans, Bears, Jaguars, Dolphins, Broncos, Seahawks, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Browns, Commanders, Bucks, Rams, Lions, and Jets.
That's a great game on Sunday.
Yeah. And then Jets, Niners to finish out the week.
All right, so some teams are getting a really tough first game.
So
Some teams are getting pretty. I think Cincinnati got an easy walkover. I think. I don't know,
I refuse to believe Cincinnati wins any games within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're going to win that one, and Miami's going to win.
All right, hang on. I want to go back, and Christian, just let's talk about the prime time games.
All right, prime time. Prime time, obviously Thursday night football. Ravens versus Chiefs. The two best teams in the AFC, right there.
So Ravens Chiefs opens the season on Thursday night football.
Two of the three best teams in the AFC. Chiefs.
Amazon has got to be thrilled about how that came out.
And then Friday night. Actually, I believe this game won't be on Amazon. The first Thursday night game will not be on Amazon.
Oh, it's on NBC.
Yeah, I believe so. And then Friday night, Packers-Eagles.
Okay, so Friday night. So this is the first time ever there's a Friday night primetime NFL game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm so down for it.
So Thursday night, Friday night, you've got two great games. You're going to have a full slate of college football, and there will probably be a great primetime game on Saturday night. And then Sunday night football is Lions.
Rams.
Wow. I mean, those are three great games. And then Monday is
Jets Niners.
Oh, see, and that's going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers take the first snap is against the Niners. Wow.
This season's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Does he still have it in him season?
Well, if he makes it past week one, he'll be doing great.
If he makes it past the first quarter, I think I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You can project all you want going into the NFL season, but until people start playing, you really have no freaking idea what's going to happen. None. By the way, I'm kind of insulted by this personally. I don't know why exactly, but it just sticks in my craw that the Pro Football Focus says that the NFC South is the worst division in football.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Who's in the NFC South? Carolina.
Saints.
Yeah, sorry about that. Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Yeah.
That might be the weakest link.
The Saints have
let me tell you this.
Carr, a first ballot Hall of Famer.
But that's one team.
According to his peers, he's not.
That's one team.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's only one
Speaking
team.
on loud.
Hang on. Let me just go through this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Christian, you love the Buccaneers.
I love Bucks. But this is what I'm saying. I love Baker Mayfield.
Right.
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. He's nowhere near the top 10, top 15 best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's the best quarterback in that division.
No.
Sorry.
No, he's
Sorry,
not.
Carr.
No.
Yeah.
No. He is an emotional infant.
But he can sling that thing.
And so can Derek Carr. By the way, a lot of people don't realize this, but I watched every Saints game last year. The Saints offense was boring. It was boring and predictable and just dull. And it is going to be way different this year with Clint Kubiak bringing a more hybrid running game, 49ers type system. And by the way, the New Orleans Saints now might have one of the top 5 secondaries in the NFL. They're going to be able to lock down receivers, and they won't give up big plays like they did last year because they're much better in the secondary. And Chris Olave is a star. They still have Alvin Kamara. Taysom Hill is going to be used all over the field. And then the Atlanta Falcons, man, they've got 3 massive receivers. They've got a great tight end. They have a guy who should be an all-star running back, the kid from Texas.
Bijan
Robinson should be great.
Stud. Yeah.
And they've got Kirk the Cousins,
Kirk
right?
O'Chains, yeah.
Kurt
Look,
Bags.
Yeah, the Carolina
Right,
Panthers suck, but honestly, I think there are worse divisions. I think the AFC East is a worse division. The Bills are not what they were. The Jets,
Miami?
we don't know.
Come on.
We don't know.
Miami and Buffalo.
No.
There's
I hate
nobody in that NFC South that could beat either one of those teams on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Oh, Tampa Bay could beat the Jets or Miami or easily beat New England. So could the Saints and easily. We don't know what the Jets are.
There's two good teams in every division except for the South, NFC South.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, there's the NFC South, the Buccaneers, the Saints, and the Falcons
Are they
all
good
teams?
But they're not good teams. They're
very good teams.
they're good
1
teams
minute.
for their division.
Excuse me. The Dolphins and the Patriots have not showed
Dolphins won
much.
11 games, 12
And
games.
they
last
also win. As soon as they got to the playoffs, they got their ass handed to them.
It doesn't matter. They still won more games.
Yeah,
Are they better
and
regular
because they
season?
got to play the
The question-
Patriots twice, they got to play the Jets twice.
Yeah.
So-
And then everyone in the NFC South got to play the Panthers twice and the Falcons twice with Arthur Smith as their OC.
Well, there you go. We'll leave it out there, but I think saying clearly that the NFC South is the worst division when you have three great quarterbacks.
I'm saying confidently the NFC South is the worst division. Look, Kirk Cousins passed it. That Falcons team is all hypes. Kyle Pitts caught 3 touchdowns in 3 years. Bijan Robinson, I think, is going to be great. Drake London, I think, is a number 3 on the championship team. The Saints are nowhere near what they want to be. Derek Carr's past his prime. Baker Mayfield's throwing on the torn
They're going to
labrum.
blow it up. I didn't want to say it because I know Lou don't want to hear it, but they're going to blow it up before the trade deadline.
Lou-desmo, all right.